What's going on, guys? Gene Augustin with the Lending Collective. So as you can see, Alicia is not here. She is with the Hand Rolled guys down in Florida filming their documentary. So I'm left at back at the lounge filming today's market update, but she did film something for us, so stay tuned. So a quick update for you guys. So Freddie Mac is saying that mortgage rates are around 6.53%. This is up from last week's 6.375. Mortgage Daily, however, says mortgage rates are around 6.59%, which is slightly lower than where it was last week at 6.75. So what does this mean? This just means that the market is extremely volatile, guys. It is moving. I mean, I'm getting dizzy because it's moving so much. If I were a buyer in this market, I would be in constant contact with my lender. My clients are blowing me up every minute and just checking to make sure that, because at any given time, we either qualify for more or our top buying power may be impacted because of the movement in rates. So what's going on with this war in Iran? So the good news is negotiators are saying that we have a deal. It's still not signed, however. So Trump right now is in the Situation Room making the final calls. If it's signed, guys, the straits open, oil prices drop, rates could ease. However, if there's any slight stall, if there's more attacks, from Iran and the U.S., we could see rates climb up again, and that's that tug of war I've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Now, on to Treasury news, right? So the 10-year Treasury, as of May 20th, hit a 16-month high of 4.7%. So as the Treasury fluctuates, or the yield of the Treasury goes up and down, that causes mortgage rates to go up and down. So there's a direct correlation. Yield goes up, rates go up. Yield drops, rates drop, right? So when the yield or the Treasury hit 4.7, that's when rates were around 6.75. It did drop to roughly 4.48% this week, which is good. And that's why we're seeing rates in the mid sixes. Now, this time last year, guys, we were at about 6.89%. So even though rates are up from this year's low back in February, we're still slightly better than where we were last year. Now, I get it, guys. We're still hitting an affordability crisis. Gas, I filled in my car the other day, it was like $111 for like a 15-gallon tank, which is mind-boggling. So one of our investors did come out with a solution. We have a 1.0 lender paid buy down. That means for the first year, we are going to buy down your rate a whole percentage point. So I locked in a client this week. We locked them in at 6.5%. For year one, they're going to be at 5.5%. They're going to save a little over $700. Absolutely no cost. Great. The second thing we are offering is the Vantage Score 4.0. This is the new scoring system by Fannie and Freddie, or approved by Fannie and Freddie, which takes into consideration your utilities, your cell phone bills, your PG&E, and we're seeing about a 20% or 20-point spread in score. So I locked in a client, their score FICO traditional was 734. With the Vantage, we were at 770, which allowed them to get a rate from 6.875 down to 6.5%. So if you buyer that's been denied because of credit or the rates are too high, reach out to me. Would love to be a resource for you. You guys have my number. Now, Alicia, give me your numbers.
Thanks, Gene. I'm here in Miami Beach this week, so we're not together, and no cigar for me right now, sorry. But I do have your weekly market update. This week we have, all three numbers have gone down from last week. I think that is a direct correlation to the interest rates going up last week. New listings are at 138. That's down 26 from last week. Pending transactions are 133, down 5 from last week. And closed are at 111. That's down 24 from last week. Of those closed transactions, 31 are at above ask, 30 are at ask, and 50 are below ask price. There are 49 with multiple offers and 39 that had concessions. So I just want to point out that I think it's been really hard with rates going up and down and bouncing around, but overall, we have to focus on what the market is doing and where the market is going well. And those listings that are getting above ask or at ask make up for 50% of the market. So I know sometimes we tend to focus on the 50% that are getting below ask, but 50% are getting at ask or above. So that's all good news for sellers. As far as buyers, the buyers are concerned, we really have to know your numbers. We say this every week. Get your pre-approval lined up with Gene. And we are combating these high rates with Gene's programs. So if you haven't had a chance to talk to him about the buy down or a seller credit or concession, we get into our offices, one of our offices this week, and we'll get you squared away. So thanks, and I am happy to see you this week. See you next week.